Good morning, everyone. It's been raining nonstop, the past couple of days. So we hope that everyone is safe and doing well. So my name is Renzo Jimenea. I'm an account executive here at BrandSpeak Asia. So I want to encourage you guys. So we already have a couple of viewers here live with us today. So kindly like and share our hashtag Ask BrandSpeak session for today. Feel free to tag a friend or a colleague down in the comments down below. All right, so good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. All right, so also follow us on our social media accounts at BrandSpeak Asia. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Right. And also for those of you who are interested, we are offering a free 10-minute consultation. Yes. So if you're watching on Facebook, that question card should pop up on your screen or in a couple of seconds. Or if you're over on YouTube as well, watching us live, you type in the comments down below, I'm interested. And one of our team members will get in touch with you. Will send you a message. We'll ask for your contact information, your email address, most likely, and we'll set that consultation meeting up with you. All right. So comment down below. I'm interested for that free 10-minute brand consultation. All right. Okay. So to recap, right. So I hope you guys were able to join us last Friday as well. If not, you can catch or watch our full Ask Brand Speak session. It's over up on YouTube. You can watch all the previous sessions as well. So be sure to subscribe as well. But for as a recap, yeah, like what I said last week, I talked about the social media metrics and the importance of it, what it is, and how it can help you and your brand, right? So I talked about three kinds of social media metrics. If you guys remember, you have your awareness metrics. So these are your reach, your impressions. Also have your engagement metrics, so your likes, your comments, your shares, the retweets over on Twitter. And of course, you have your conversion metrics. So your cost per conversion, your cost per click, right? And also your click-through rates. So it varies. So I also shared something like a quotable quote, I would say, from last week. Measure what matters to you, right? Measure what matters to you. Of course, there are a lot of different social media metrics, in the digital space. So you don't necessarily have to track each and every metric out there. What you need to do is that you need to determine what your goal is. So what is your social media goal? And from there, you'll be able to determine the right metrics to measure and what the right metrics that will be needed for you that is in line with your goal and your marketing campaign. All right, so for today, as you guys have already seen the title of this live session, if you guys have also seen our ads on social, I'll be talking about social media listening. So what is it? Why is it important, and how brands can do it? I also briefly mentioned it last Friday as well. All right, so let's get started, okay? So what is social media listening or social listening, right? So it is the process of monitoring and analyzing online conversations and trends about your brand, about your brand, your product or service. It also looks into your competitors as well. But not only that, it also looks at listens in on the industry that you are in. So it's a very holistic approach and review, right? And so most especially, after listening in on those conversations, on those trends and those mentions about your brand, from there you'll be able to generate insights to make better marketing decisions for you, right? So it's all about the mentions and conversations that are related to your brand, right? So I talked about it last week as well. So social media monitoring and social media listening, right? Social media monitoring versus social media listening. The two seem alike, they can be similar, but they actually differ in very important ways, right? So let me differentiate it for you. So social media monitoring focuses on the metrics, and like what I've talked about last week. So it helps you understand how you are performing on your social platforms. While social media listening, on the other hand, focuses on the conversations that are happening, right? The sentiments that come out of it. And it helps you understand how your audiences talk about your brand, how your audiences feel about your your brand as well. So, where social media monitoring rather looks at your metrics, the engagements, the number of likes, your reach. Social listening looks beyond those numbers to consider the mood behind the data, right? But one key thing when it comes to social listening as well is that social media monitoring is very foundational. It's actually the first step that you need to do before social listening. So there can't be social listening without social monitoring. So social monitoring comes first, and then social listening comes after, because that's where social listening takes it a step further, takes it to another level when it comes to talking about your data and such, right? So social listening, this helps you understand how people feel about you and your competitors, right? So it's not just about counting the number of times that your brand gets mentioned, the number of times that people talk about your brand. It also helps you keep your marketing and your product development efforts on track. So it also allows you to respond right away to positive or negative posts. Right. So with that, I'll move on. I want to talk about why is it important. So why is social listening important? So first and foremost, it helps brands truly understand and connect with their audiences and customers, right? So knowing and delivering exactly what your customer wants provides you and provides them the best possible experience, right? So with social listening, it can help you do that. You'll be able to do that, or at the very least, it helps you understand your customer, your audience better through social listening. So a couple of things, how social listening helps you as well. So first, like what I've mentioned, engaging with your customers, right? So even if they haven't tagged you, even in the comments they haven't tagged you at your brand name, social listening will help you look into the mentions, help you look into the conversations that are happening about your brand or about your product or service, right? So for example, a customer might have tweeted about your product or your brand, and they talk about how much they loved it, right? Or they might have reached out to you. And from there, you'll be able to see it firsthand and engage with them, send them a reply, make them feel valued, right? And allows you to do those kinds of things. So second thing, how social listening can help you is that it can help you manage crisis, right? So engagement is good. People talking about your brand is good, but it's not always that people always have like a good or a positive comment about it, right? So of course there are a few that can be negative or can be neutral. So sentiment analysis, right? So that's where social listening comes into play as well. If the conversations are happening are positive, or are they neutral, are they negative, right? So social listening allows you to track them real time, and that's the beauty of it. So with this, the way you can see those posts, and if you get a positive engagement, look for the reasons behind it. What are they saying about your brand, about your product or service? So from there, you'll be able to determine, okay, you'll gain valuable insights. And of course, nowadays, right, with the rise of e-commerce and online shopping, people nowadays are really active in terms of giving their feedback, right? In terms of giving their customer their product reviews or service reviews, right? So they actively share their opinions online. So on the other hand, if you receive negative sentiment, right, um, this is something that we always encourage our clients to do as well. If you can, don't try to hide or remove those negative comments. It would be We actually recommend and encourage our clients, if you can respond to them and help address that concern better, and it will give you like a positive image, because when other people see it, it makes them see, makes them realize, okay, this company, this brand actually cares about their customers, and they help them address their concerns or reviews, right? So again, real-time feedback can help manage negative sentiment. But of course, if not, you can always do it the other way around. Okay. So another thing, how social listening helps you, it can help track your competitors as well. So not only you understand what people say about you, but also what they say about your competitors, right? So this gives you important insights into where you fit in the marketplace, right? So different things, right? So let me give you a couple of examples on where companies use social listening in, so it can help you generate leads, right? Because people are talking about your brand. Customer service, most especially, right? Getting customer feedback, customer reviews, which is very important. You know, not another thing as well is that it can help you improve your customer experience along with getting your customer feedback. But this one also, it can help you better create content, content creation and distribution, right? From the questions or from the feedback that you are getting from the conversation, so you'll be able to get important insights, right? Be able to determine better FAQs that you can develop for your brand, because these are the things that the people are always asking about. If you notice, they ask about this question a lot, you know, especially online, right? You always see it, HMU, how much po, you know, even if the price is already on the visual, it's the behavior of the people to still comment, you know, how much, right? So those kinds of things that can help you gain better better insights. Okay, can help. What other things that companies use social listening in? So it can also involve in improving or preparing a new product, you know, tailored to your potential customers' needs. So about product, if you're launching a new product, can help you better determine, gain valuable insights, you know, initial feedback, or what are the things that your audience or customers are concerned about the most, right? Okay, so how can brands do it? So how do you start social listening for your brand or for your company, right? So the listening process is rather simple, but it's simple because you need to have the right tool for it. You know, you can, however, do things manually. To process it manually, you know, you can look up on if over on Facebook, you can look at the notifications and look at the mentions, the tags on your brand, or you can just search up your hashtag on the Facebook search bar. But it can be a very time-consuming process, and it will be less effective, right? Because you're not really getting into the nitty-gritty details, and from that alone, you know, you won't be able to get the sentiment analysis, or and you won't be able to see mentions across different platforms as well. So social listening is not just limited to social media, you know. It's not just limited to your Facebook, to your Instagram accounts. It also takes into consideration, you know, blog sites, news sites, review sites, other publicly available sources, right? It listens into those channels as well. So if you have a news article talking about your company, you know, social listening will track those as well, right? So again, if you can, if it's in your marketing budget as well, invest in a social listening tool. Of course, so there are various social listening tools out there. I'll name a few, but we are not sponsored or anyway. So these are just the recommended online, you know, the top tools that are available. So again, we're not sponsored anyway, but if they can sponsor us, then why not, right? So a couple of tools, social listening tools. So you have your Hootsuite, you have your Sprout Social, you have your Mentionlytics. You also have your Media Toolkit, and lastly, you also have your Google Alerts. Just to share with you a little bit, Google Alerts is more of a monitoring tool, but you can still use it, because how it works is that if you visit Google Alerts and then you type in specific keyword or a link, it will give you like an alert or an email rather when that specific uh, keyword or link is mentioned online. So at least it gives you a little bit of something. These tools that I've mentioned, besides Google Alerts, they have paid tools, but they do offer free demos. So when you invest in a social listening tool, so make sure that you visit the platform. They have free demos, test it out, and make sure it's something that you will be able to understand, especially if you're the one who's going to be doing this, that you will be easily to navigate different areas around it as well. Okay, so a couple of things to consider when it comes to applying social listening for your brand, for your strategy. What are the things that you should look into? So first and foremost, the name of your brand. So that's kind of so you know that already, right? So what is the main keyword that is for your brand or for your company, or the name of your product or service, right? So that's number one. Number two, your company's hashtag, right? So you want to look into that as well. So what are the people talking about? Where are they using your hashtag? Is it relevant to your business? Is it relevant to your values as a company as well, right? And also you have your campaign specific hashtags, right? So it's separate from your company hashtag. You also have your campaign specific hashtag. So look into those as well. And last, also you have your keywords, keywords related to your business niche. Okay, so say for example, you're selling products online. You're selling leather craft, say for example. So you want to look into people talking about buying different types of leather, or uh, wallets, bags, those kinds of things that you might want to look into as well, right? So, so like what I've mentioned, social listening is not limited to the social media platforms. There are other sources that the listening tool that looks into as well, right? So, blogs, podcasts, newsletters, and other online available sources that are available publicly, rather. Okay. So once you have your social listening tool and you have those things to consider, you have that in mind already. So from there, using the tool that you have, you can set up your trackers, right? Set up the trackers for the name of your company. Set up the trackers for your brand, for your hashtags as well. So from there, you'll be able to identify the conversations. And the next, so you have your main trackers as well, that are specific to your company name, like what I've mentioned. Next, what you should also do is set up sub trackers as well, so that you can, and the purpose of this is that so you can better group or segment your data, right? And so it makes reporting easier as well. And also from there, you better be able to determine, the demographics of the conversations that are happening, because you'll be able to do that, of a specific demographic within the mentions, within the conversations that you are listening into, or certain behavioral aspects as well, right? And of course, lastly, look into creating filters as well. So of course, with the trackers that you're setting up, they have the tendency to be a little bit broad, especially, for example, right? You're listening into the company Apple, and then the keyword you use there is Apple. That's the main keyword that your social listening tool is tracking into. But uh, it can also look into apple pie, or it can also look into apple tree. It sounds a little bit um, uh, funny, but that's what really happens. So filters, set it up. So not all conversations rather that you get are important. Every now and then you get those conversations that are not really as relevant, or depending on what you are specifically tracking or monitoring as well. But filters can help you exclude those kinds of conversations. Right. So there, um, so there is it. So there it is. So social listening, it's all about looking into the conversations, the mentions that are happening about your brand, the people, what are the people talking about? And from there, you'll be able to get valuable insights on what are their opinions and what are their thoughts, what are their sentiments about you and your company. Okay, so just to wrap this up, final thoughts that I want to share with you guys is that your audience, your customer base, they're talking all the time, right? They're always conversing. They're online. They're sharing their thoughts, especially nowadays, right? There's a lot of niche groups, they're happening on Facebook. A lot of different groups that people are online, continuously sharing their thoughts. And I'm sure you guys know this as well, right? Very famous Facebook group nowadays is Home Buddies. So people are always sharing, talking about their experiences, giving product reviews, right? They're always talking about these kinds of things, and they might be talking about you. They might be talking about your brand and your company, and so that's why social listening is a very valuable tool that you can implement within your marketing strategy to gain valuable insights. And so from there, you can make better marketing decisions, right? So from there, right, they're having their conversations, the things that they need, the challenges, the problems that they face with regards to your product or your brand, right? Sharing their opinions about specific topics, and they even give each other advice. They help each other out, and from there, you'll be able to determine as well key influencers or key people that talk about your brand that you can perhaps reach out to and provide you with a testimonial, even for your company. But by tuning into these conversations, and I've been saying this again and again, and I can't stress it. I can't stress it enough. You'll be able to get valuable insights. So that's really what you get out of it. Valuable insights, customer sentiment, and the issues that you'll be able to solve when you're doing social listening. Because if you're not doing it yet, you're missing out on all these data. And from there, you'll be able to spot opportunities if you have a keen eye on it as they arise. Generate ideas about your content, what you can do further on social, given these conversations that are happening online. You can make valuable product improvements as well, and especially customer support, which is very important. Reviewing customer feedback online, which is kind of everything, nowadays. Customer support initiatives that you can do, not only, for example, you see that most of the people who are talking about your brand are more active on Twitter, but your brand is not necessarily active on that platform. Then you might want to consider to create an account on Twitter as well, right? So that you'll be able to respond to the messages, to the tweets from the people, right? So there. So that's it. Social media listening, talking about what it is. I've shared with you how important it is and how you can do it. I've mentioned, different tools that you guys can look into. Of course, again, I want to encourage you guys, before you invest in the social media listening tool, make sure you do your research, right? Most of the tools that I've mentioned are based abroad, and some of them have expanded their services, their tracking to be more specific here, especially here in the Philippines as well. So couple of things that you might want to consider as well. All right. So hope you guys learned something from us today here at Ask BrandSpeak. So I want to encourage you guys again, if you are interested, we are offering a free 10-minute brand consultation. So type in the comments down below if you guys have just joined us, halfway through our live session today. Type in the comments, I'm interested, or if you're watching on Facebook, that question card should pop up or in a couple of seconds, and our team will get in touch with you and we'll set up that free 10-minute brand consultation, right? So if you have something going on right now, if you're looking into social media marketing, or if you're interested in partnering up with an influencer to expand your reach, right? Or if you have an upcoming event online, maybe we can help you out. And let's see where that goes. Okay. So thank you very much for joining. for joining us today. Hope to see you again next Friday. So watch out for our upcoming ads on what we will be talking about next. I want to encourage you guys as well, if you have specific things that you might, the specific questions that you have, or topics that you might want us to talk about or to discuss, let us know in the comments down below. Send us a message. We'd love to hear from you and talk to you and help you out and in whatever way we can. Okay, so have a lovely Friday ahead, guys. So it's still raining outside, so stay safe and see you again next Friday.